Welcome to Kalina Creative. I'm Diana. I'm your guide for everything food styling. So today we're going into the captivating world of cold sandwich styling. If you're an aspiring stylist or you're a photographer, foodie, or maybe you're just curious, come along with me. You're in for a treat. So grab your favorite snack because this will probably make you hungry. Dealing with food all the time does make you quite hungry. And we're going to embark on this delicious journey together. Here we go. Let's start by creating a regular sandwich. This is going to be the benchmark. We'll compare our styled masterpiece to later. And we're going to use this as a stunt or a stand-in sandwich. Most of the time, stunts and stand-ins are used for the photographer. It's always a great idea. They like to have something to light and place in the scene while you work on making your perfect sandwich, and then you swap in the perfect sandwich later. The stand-in doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it doesn't even need to be the exact sandwich. Heck, I've even used 2 slices of bread and a wad of paper towels before. It's just a placeholder, so don't fuss about it. Our basic sandwich is consisting of lettuce, tomato, mayo, turkey, Swiss cheese, and Dijon mustard. Now, let's delve into the heart of food styling. We're creating something that looks absolutely irresistible, but this is not okay to eat, so please do not eat this. Here's a tip, especially on softer breads. I like to use Scotchgard. Yeah, the stuff you spray on your couch. The soft bread can absorb moisture and get soggy fast, so I like to spray it, let it dry, and I've got an extra layer of protection. Now let's talk mayo. We're not going to spread it everywhere because we're not going to see all the sides of the sandwich. We're going to push it towards the front edges, creating these exquisite little mayo ripples. I find with the weight of the sandwich, it pushes just the right amount of mayo right to the edge of the bread. Next up, we have lettuce. I tend to go for green leaf lettuce. It has just enough ruffles, more than Bib and more than romaine, and it's a brighter green. I try to stay away from iceberg because it's too pale and not very sturdy. Oh, and a little trick I use here are these T-pins. They help to keep things in place and not slide around, and I like to put the ruffles of the lettuce towards the camera. Another thing that I like to use is these little makeup wedges. I know everybody always thinks that these are wedges of cheese for some reason. They're not, they're makeup wedges. This helps pitch the food forward towards the camera. So then we have tomatoes, the juicy gems of our sandwich. Picking the ripest ones is key. Blot them on a paper towel before placing them to get rid of any excess moisture from sneaking into your sandwich. I like to overlap them slightly. Next, it's time for cheese. I picked Swiss cheese so I could share another tip with you. If your Swiss doesn't have the holes in the right spot or not enough, don't worry, you can always make your own. I like to use a pastry tip to punch extra holes as needed. And you can use the large side or the small size, just kind of match up what's already in the cheese so it looks rather natural. So as we assemble the cheese, I like to not have the point of the cheese coming directly towards the camera. So I always try to assemble stuff with the camera angle in mind. And I also don't like to have the point of the cheese cover up the nice little V shape that the tomatoes make where they overlap. I like to have it kind of subtly off center. I think that kind of does the trick. Even right now, I don't think that's the right spot. I think it needs to go the other way. There we go. And I'm probably going to add another piece of cheese in there somewhere to kind of balance it out because that cheese doesn't fill the whole sandwich. So moving on to the star of the show, it's the turkey. I like to use a medium thick cut piece. If you have a thick cut piece or too thin, you're going to have trouble folding it. The thin ones are just going to kind of condense in on themselves and not hold their shape very well. The thick ones might be hard to fold. So I like to go for medium thick cut, and I tend to go to the deli and get them to slice it for me versus going to the refrigerated case and getting those, because the refrigerated case, I think they're too thin. I also like to use lunch meat that has a distinct edge color to it. So like this pepper crusted turkey, it has a really nice distinct edge to it. Some of the oven roasted kinds do too. I think it's just more visually interesting. So the magic of this lies in the finesse. I like to try and put my eyes where the camera's going to be. This is going to help me see the food from the camera's point of view. So lowering your eyes every chance you get to see what the camera sees will help you put the food in the right place. So visualize where the camera will be and orchestrate the placement of the food accordingly. I also like to use this handy dental tool to help refine the arrangement, and you can move around the wedges however you need. If you want to find these tools that I'm using, I also will have a link to my website where I have a shop where I have all of these tools that I use and some more fun stuff. Now, we just kind of gently arrange the turkey folds. I like to have them kind of facing the camera a little bit and away from the camera. I don't want them all going the same direction, changing it up. All right, so this is what our sandwich looks like from more of the camera angle. I'm sorry for the shakiness. I had to bring it off the tripod to get this angle. Now we're gonna work on trying to get the pitch of the bread right. So when the camera comes down, I want to see a little bit more of the top of the bread, not just the crust. So I have this other thing that I use. It's a weighted block, and I put it right behind the sandwich, and the weight's really nice because it's not going to move. So if you have heavy stuff, it's not going to topple it over. And I stack other things on top of it to get the exact right height of the top of the sandwich that I want. The cool thing is because of the camera angle, you're not going to see any of this stuff back there. You can stack all kinds of stuff back there. I've even had little Lego men behind stuff holding up the back edge of the bread, and you would never know. So yeah, I put some dominoes back there to try and get the right height. And I get I always say top bun, but the top part of the bread in the right spot. And once I like where it is, actually, I think I might add a little more turkey on the left side of this sandwich to give it a little bit more height, because I feel like the top is kind of pitching a little bit to the left. So we're going to tuck that turkey in there, maybe do another tuck of the lettuce and repin it, because on the right it's kind of kicking way far out. You kind of pin everything the way that you want it in place, and I might push it back out. I kind of find a happy medium. Push that lettuce back in there, and we're going to spray it with that glycerin and water spray. Gives a little bit of shine and a fresher look. And then we're going to add the Dijon mustard to the top layer, and we're going to do this the same way that we did with the mayo on the bottom. I'm just going to strategically place it towards the edge of the sandwich, and when we push down on the top, it's going to kind of push it out a little bit. So there you have it, the journey from basic sandwich to masterpiece. If you found this journey inspiring, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more food styling content, and share your thoughts down in the comments section. Stay tuned as we continue to explore this exciting world of food styling and unlocking its secrets one layer at a time. Until next time, happy sandwich styling, and remember, there's no one solution to this. It's an art form, so experiment and figure out what works for you.